Hello, third grade. I hope you guys are all doing good still, and I am still missing you. We are looking at 11.4 today, and then tomorrow you will be doing 11.5, so we'll go over that as well. So, 11.4, and remember that we've done this. This is more of a review. I know some of you were having a hard time grasping the concept, so I wanted to go over it again and make sure that you really could understand the concepts and be able to figure out the area and perimeter of different shapes. So today 11.4 is just touching on the area. We're moving from the perimeter to the area today. And the area is the number of square units needed to cover a flat surface. Now, interesting fact for you, back in ancient times, when the pharaohs were around and stuff, they are the ones that kind of came up with the concept of area. And the reason why is because the Egyptian surveyors, is what they called them, they figured out how to measure land plots and calculate their areas of land that they owned. And the reason they needed to was because the farmers needed to be able to locate their land, or they called them plots, but they needed to be able to locate their plots or land every year after the Nile River would flood their lands. And so they had to be able to go back and figure out what land and what part of the area was theirs. So they are the ones that came up with the stepping off a foot, a square foot, and figuring out the different area of land that they would own. So when we think of area, we need to think of flat surfaces. So their land was flat, so they needed to know how much was inside. We have fences now, right? We'll fence off an area, and in everything inside of the fence is the land that you own, and you can figure out what the area of that is by stepping off feet or inches or however it is that we use it. So if we look over here at my bathroom floor, you see the tiles there? So those are 1 foot high, or length is 1 foot, and then the width is 1 foot. So remember the perpendicular angles that we make right in the corner where the two lines come together. One line is the length, and one line is the width, and they are both 1 foot by 1 foot. And if we were wanting to find the area of that bathroom, we would need to figure out how many of those tiles it would take to cover the floor, right? So that is why it's important to be able to figure out the areas, because when you're wanting to cover the floor with carpet or with tile, you have to know how much carpet or tile you need to be buying. And so I have a picture here on my computer just to kind of show you again. The perimeter is the outside, right? The black part of that is the perimeter. And it's the outside, it's like the fencing around your land. That's how much fence you would need around your land. Or if we were talking about my bathroom, that's how many like the border around the floor. How many feet of border do I need around the outside of the floor to make it look good? On this one, it's showing us the area, the blue part. It's the inside of the square. That's how much is inside, okay? And we use square units to measure area, okay? 1 unit, we can use 1 foot by 1 foot or 1 inch by 1 inch, but whatever it is, it's always one. One has to be the basic unit when we are finding the area, okay? So the area is the number of square units needed to cover a flat surface, and the space inside the shape, inside the fence, the area inside that fence, or the how many tiles you need on the whole floor inside your bathroom, okay? So that's 11.4. And then when you get into 11.5 tomorrow, It's just talking about how we can find the area of a plane figure. When they say a plane figure, they just mean a flat figure, right? So when we're talking about the bathroom floor, it's flat, right? You're just going to lay those tiles flat on the ground. And if you're talking about a field, you're just talking about how much ground there is. So it's a flat surface. So the area is the flat surface inside of a shape. And I want to show you another figure right here on the computer. So if you look at rectangle A, do you see how they've split up that rectangle and it is not very equal? They have blank spaces in between the squares. Right here they have two squares and then a blank space and then another two squares and a blank space. So we can't say that they are measuring the area in 1 foot by 1 foot or 1 inch by 1 inch, because in between these aren't inches, they are not equal areas. So we have random places and we have spaces in between our squares, so we can't figure out the area of that with the way that they've broken that up. So then we go look at rectangle B. And again, do you see that those squares are not equal? They are not even. So when we go down to rectangle C, there we can see that all the squares are equal, and that's when we can really find the area of the rectangle. We have to make sure that they are 1 by 1, okay? However long the length is, the width is the same when we have to measure how many squares are inside that rectangle, okay? Okay, well remember, if you guys have any questions for me, if you're struggling with any of these, have your parents email me or you email me and ask me a question, and I'm happy to help you figure it out. Otherwise, you can just go to Think Central and do 11.4 lesson and assignment, and tomorrow you can do 11.5. I hope you guys have a great day. It's supposed to be so warm today, hottest day of the week. Go get in the slip and slide or play in the pool, something. Have fun, guys. Talk to you later.